Hello, dear parents. A properly trained child is very much confident towards his future. His problem solving skills, his situation behavior, his broad mindedness, each is a reflection of your attitude towards him. And if you are a parent of a child who is still going in schooling, then congrats, I will nourish your child with the best of the level of acknowledgement. Even if your child is grown up and not in schooling now, then I will teach you with some of the best techniques of hacking his psychology even if he is grown up. Okay? Getting success, achieving greatness, these things are an output of the hard efforts of the child. We as parents could not shape that. Our purpose is to keep him happy and nourish him with the creative and moral thoughts. So subscribe my channel, then I will start up with the best of my content. Without wasting much time, I would give up the situations and teach you how to deal with that. First of all, how to understand the psychology of my child. The answer is simple. Whenever you live with your child, then think of the things from his frame of reference. I bet you your maximum problems will be solved. Your frame of reference means you have to think in the manner he thinks. There must be some controversies that may be arising between you and him, and that will be solved if you think the things from his frame of reference. Let's solve a problem. I will give you two cases. First case, consider you are doing a job, and after coming back to home, your child says that, Papa, tomorrow I want to go for a cartoon show which is going to be performed in our city. But you don't have the paid leave, means your salary would be cut off the one day if you go with him. Okay, so there is a controversy to go for job or to go for the cartoon show with him. So this is the first case. And second case, I tell you, second case is that your child has already a cycle, but his classmate is having a gear cycle which is much luxurious, and your child is saying that he also wants the same type of cycle. These two cases, how will you deal with these cases? You have to think the things from the child's frame of reference. Then the correct way of dealing these two cases is that in first situation you are doing a job and leaving one day is going to cut your salary of one day, but your child is a big fan of cartoon from childhood. He loves watching cartoons. So for keeping him happy, keeping him creative for his thoughts, you should at least devote one day of your salary. Okay, his creative thoughts are much more valuable than your one day of salary. So in that situation you should take a leave and spend some of the time with your child. Yeah, it is very important. Your child's creative thoughts are going to develop if you are going to treat him properly. Okay, this was the proper solution of first case. The second case, that he wants a luxurious cycle, then you have to teach your child that luxury is a burning desire, means as much as you are trying to fulfill that, it would not be fulfilled. Your child wants a better cycle, then you want to teach him that even if I will buy you a luxurious cycle of gears, then you will say after some days that you want bike. Even if I give you a bike, you will say you want a car. The expectation never ends, and you have to teach your child this, that luxury should be kept in a very proper limit, otherwise the expectations will always keep on rising. Okay, this is the first situation. Second situation, now I will start up with. The second situation is telling the lies. For example, I will give you a condition. Your child is belonging to teenage. Your poor financial condition doesn't allow to buy him a bike. But your child is saying that he wants to go for tuitions on bike, and he belongs to a teenage, and he, for example, consider he is 16-year-old and he wants a bike for going to tuitions. Then you have to tell some of the lies, means for example you can tell him the lie that during your time I was going to school by cycles and it benefited me a lot. There are many benefits, like going by cycle made my mind active during the journey from my home to the tuition, and due to which I performed well during my tuitions. Then other thing, you may tell him that the bike are the cause of pollution, so going by cycle is very eco-friendly. Then you can tell that going by a cycle you will see the nature scenes and it would freshen up your mind for going to tuition. So these are the problem tackling skills which you need to develop. Okay, you can add some lies, you can tell some lies, but it should be beneficial. It should not be destructive for your child, it should be for constructive thoughts of your child. Okay, so these thoughts you need to develop. Now, third situation, how to tell you. The third situation is that how to choose the correct schooling for your child. If you are admitting your child in any particular school, there are some of the things which you need to think for. Means whether to put him in government school or private school, or in the hostel school or non-hostel school. So there must be many situations that would be arising, right? So if best possible condition is there, then how to choose among these? If your economy is well enough, and if your economy is not well enough, government schools are generally chosen if the economy is not poor, if economy is poor, and private schools are chosen by parents if the economy is good enough. But I would like to tell that there is no such distinction that private schools would perform much better than government schools. The quality is good enough even in the government schools as well. So government schools are not, means you should not assume that they are not providing the proper quality as compared to private schools. So you should not means think that government schools will not give a proper quality for your child. Okay, this is the first clear cut option. And the other thing is about the hostels and non hostels. Then if you listen for me, the best possible way for hosteling is don't send your child to hostels till he goes to 10th standard. Okay, after 10th standard you may indulge him into the hostels. I won't say that hostels are bad or many things are there. Okay, but I am telling you the best possible way, because the things work as I will tell you. If a child is staying in hostels, then he is actually living in the same company of people daily. Okay, his peers, his teachers. But if he is living with you in your hometown, then he is actually, after coming back from school, he is going to live in the society, he is going to make new friends, he is going to see the environment, he is going to learn many creative thoughts. Living in a society which is a big art, and it can be attained if your child is going to indulge in non-hosteling, means he is living with you. Okay, I don't say that hosteling is very bad, because many hostelings are good enough and they provide proper nourishment of proper values to the child. But the actual feel of getting the social knowledge of how to behave with people, how to get good qualities, how to do business, how to trade with people, these things a particular person attains only after he is roaming in the society, he is talking with the people. Okay, these things, this knowledge comes only if he is going to walk into the society. And this thing, if he attains before 10th standard, then he has many further benefits. Okay, but even if there is some, for example, there is some problem and your child needs to live in hosteling. Okay, like there must be poor financial condition, then obviously you should go for hosteling of your child. Then the things of social knowledge, it may be covered of your child after 10th standard. Okay, so obviously there are exceptional cases, means there are many children who actually live in schooling for many years, but still their ability of social knowledge is very high. So exceptional cases are always there. Okay, but I am telling you the best option. Okay, all right. Now I will give you next situation. The next situation is of an angry child. For example, your child is 25 to 30-year-old and he has recently joined the job, but his heart is not there in doing that job, even if it is paying him well. Let's say it is paying him 50,000 per month, and your child is able to do that job properly, but his heart is not there in that particular job and he wants to compose the songs of his own. Okay, it's his hobby and he wants to do the career in that, but he is actually doing a job of 50,000 rupees, and that is a very different job. Then, and due to that, he is always angry, thinking that I don't want to do this job, I want to leave this job. Then how will you treat with your child? Will you uh, angrily say him that you are getting 50,000 rupees and you should do that job itself, you don't have to compose songs, there is no need? Okay, is this the situation, or any other option you would choose? So in such situation, you have to think that what he thinks, you have to understand the importance of passion. You have to tell your child in this situation that prove your passion in front of me and I will let you to compose songs and leave the job. Okay, but if you fail to prove your passion, then do your job, continue your job. Okay, this is very big factor. Actually, passion and job, these two things, if synchronized at a time, then it would provide an outstanding result. Okay, means for example, you are in this situation I told you, he wants to compose songs but he is doing a job and the job is paying him very highly, but if his heart is not there, then what is the use? Okay, if he fails, him means he fails for proving the passion towards the song composition, then he should obviously continue with the job, because if he could not prove the his ability, his passion towards the songs, then it would not feed his stomach. Okay, and he has to build a passion in the job which he was performing, okay, rather than going for composition of songs, because after some years he would realize his mistake, that if I would had done my job continuously, then I would had got sufficient amount of money to live a happy life, but due to this song composition, I am having a very poor financial condition today, and even I did not become popular as well. Okay, so this is the proper treatment of this condition. You have to tell him that you first prove that you can do proper song composition, then you are completely free for leaving your job. Till then, don't leave your job. Okay, this was the fourth situation. Now, fifth situation I would like to tell, that is for teenage parents. Okay, most of the viewers of this video must be the parents of a teenage child, so there are many problems means concerning the health of him, and as the teenage brings many hormonal and emotional changes, then there are many things of how to treat your child, how to give him proper values. Okay, so the best way for your teenage care of your child is his friends company's treatment. Means there are two options that I will tell you, out of which one you have to select. The first option is that don't let your child indulge with bad behavior children. Okay, if it is possible for you, then choose this option. Okay, but there is other option as well. If you are living in a locality where almost all children are bad behaviored, means they don't have values and they don't behave properly, then you have to teach your child to live like a lotus. Means even if you are living in mud, then also you don't have to able to pour that mud in your on your body, and don't become dirty by living in that mud. This thing you have to teach to your child. Okay, so this was the one thing about the friends company of the child, and the other thing is the pre knowledge. Okay, there are many factors and many problems concerning to the teenagers which arise due to the lack of pre knowledge of things. Okay, there are many things like periods, masturbating, addictions, love life, sex life. These all things are actually a big problem for the children, because they are actually facing these things for the first time. And even if they are lacking the pre knowledge of these things, then obviously they would be caught in a very uncomfortable situation. Okay, the Indian youth is having a high percentage of depressed youth because they are actually facing a lack of knowledge. Okay, means they indulge in problem first, after that they will get the sufficient knowledge of this thing, and then they will realize that, oh, if I got to know about this earlier, then I would not have indulged in this thing. Okay, so you as a parents have to give the pre knowledge to your children, but during the proper phases of life. Means I want to tell that if you would teach the child about the love life if he is 4 or 5 year old, then it is emotionally not suitable for him. You have to tell such things after he is at least 11 or 12 years old. Okay, and other things also, like periods, masturbating, these things also you need to tell at the important and most suitable phases of his life, when he is just going to face them. Okay, so the pre knowledge is very important, and once he would be told with these things, then he would properly treat these situations if he is going to suffer about that. Okay, means even if some addiction is going to distract him, then if he is having sufficient pre knowledge, then he would not be addicted to that particular thing. Okay, so this thing you need to understand. This is about the precaution. Now I will tell about the cure. If your teenage child has faced this problem and he is still in depression due to this problem, okay, so how to treat that? So the best way is to spend the time with your children. Okay, so daily spend at least some of the time with your child, discussing on how everything is going. Is he happy? Any problems he is facing? Okay, if you are actually spending some of the time with your child, then you would become a good friend, good partner of him or her. Okay, and after doing this, he would share his problems if he is facing. Okay, and then you could tell the proper and appropriate solution on that. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, so treating the teenage children properly is very important. And next factor or next situation I will tell, that is your behavior and daily etiquettes. Means how you behave in front of him is also a very big deal. Okay, means for example, you would behave angrily, okay, then your child would be depressant. Okay, there are maximum chances that this would happen if you are behaving angrily in front of him, and once he grows up, then he will become angry and you would become depressant. Okay, this is the rule. So maximum cases this would apply. So you need to behave very patiently, very properly. Okay, your behavior is actually gold, and as well as it is poison if not properly behaved. Okay, and your energy level should be high. Okay, means you should not lay down in front of him every time. If he sees that, then he will also become lazy. So proper behavior, proper etiquettes, proper manners, these are the things which you need to cultivate, so that these will grow into him or her. Okay, so these are the things I wanted to teach you today. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel. Bye.